All right. We are back for another Waxman Show podcast, and we're here with our youngest agent on our team, Zarek Marquez. What's going on, man? Welcome.
Well, happy to be on here, man. Very excited.
Absolutely. So tell them a little bit about how we found each other, what the situation was, and why what you were thinking when you were starting to come into contact with us.
Yeah, so it's actually a funny story. I obviously, just quick background on me, always loved playing sports, going to the gym, like that's always been my thing. It still is till this day. So found myself at like 19 becoming a personal trainer, and real quick I was like, what's the top gym that'll pay me the most money? And sure enough, right down in Brickell is Equinox, right? Very high.
Real quick, why do you think like that? Like what? Because other people aren't going to think. They're going to think of what's the gym that's the closest to their house, or what's the easiest gym to go to. What made you think that way in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I mean, I do now, but at the time, I definitely didn't know. It was just an instinct of mine to just be like, where can I go make the most money with what I want to do? Because I know that my time is always going to be valuable. So, and funny enough that you mentioned, some people will be like, well, where's the closest place to me? Miami's not the closest place to me. Like, I was waking up at 5 a.m. to train someone at 6 a.m, so there was no traffic, but that's still a 25-minute drive, no traffic. So it's still good distance away, right? But it was just an instinct of mine to want to work somewhere where I was going to meet people like yourself, right? High net worth individuals, met many of them. And sure enough, I found myself becoming your personal trainer. I'll never forget when I called Josh and, I sold him. And, we ended up, starting real small, seeing each other once a week, and it was good. We created a good relationship, and then I just ended up seeing, I'm this young guy, and I was like, what do you do for work, bro? Like, you making money? He's like, yeah, I'm making money. I'm selling life insurance. I'm like, life insurance? That's boring as hell, man. What are you talking about, life insurance? And then he goes, I'm not gonna tell you nothing else. He was giving me a little bit of rope and then taking it away, which is good. That's a really good tactic. And sure enough, when I finally found myself to take that step on just saying like, no more personal training and just level myself up and get into a real career pathway for myself and building my book of business and so on and so forth. And that's how I found myself selling life insurance.
Cool. And before we get into like that aspect of it, I know you played football forever, but what other sports did you play growing up?
So I played football. So again, if we look at the seasons, right, there's spring, fall, and summer?
And winter.
And winter?
Yeah, they have 4 seasons.
4 seasons, sorry guys. This is why I sell life insurance.
The Miami education. This is Miami education.
I played football. I wrestled after football season, and then after football, I go right into track and field, and then summer, you're prepping for the next season. Yeah. So it was a consistent waking up at, number one, going to school, got to be in desk at 7:20, so waking up at 6:30, and then practice was ending at 7:30, 8 o'clock sometimes, depending on how much we messed up with practice.
Yeah, this is something that we talk about a lot. Why do you think people work so hard in high school and then they get into life and business and they don't work as hard? Like, you were 14 years old,
right,
working 12-hour days, essentially.
Yeah. And that's really funny that you say that, because there's been times where, like, I've felt more pressure, like, not being in high school, and then I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, dude, you were 16 years old doing this.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like there's a few different turning points to it. Number one, I think it's easier for us to be in love with the process in school. You're playing a sport that you love. You don't feel obligated to do that type of stuff, and you got to wake up to go to school. No one wants to go to school, right? It depends who you are. But I just think that, number one, you just got to find what you want to do in life, and then it'll kind of be the same thing, right? Like, I loved going to practice. I was tired. I'd fall asleep in the locker room before having to be on the field. But, like, I would wake up and still love the process and knowing that I'm working on myself. And I think the challenge is for people to view themselves in that same position, just 25, like being a 25-year-old male in Miami. You know what I mean? So instead of being this person who hates going to work and hates working on themselves, you just got to find a passion and a love for it. And the moment you do, it'll become very easy for you.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's my personal opinion.
I mean, and it's closer for you because you're how old now?
I turned 21.
Cool. Just turned 21. And so you're like, that was a couple years ago, realistically, right? And so it's probably more fresh in your mind for people to like, you're already part of that, and you were playing football for a decent amount of time. To tell us about your process from, middle school, high school. I know you had a little stint in college figuring stuff out. What was that like for you?
Yeah, so funny enough, this is actually a really good question that you're asking me, because I actually was the worst student you could possibly think of in elementary. My parents were definitely not knowing what the hell to do with me. And then something just clicked in middle school. I guess I became a little bit more of a man, right? And started getting better grades. But still,
When you were 12.
when I was 12, but whatever. I was still, trying to do my homework on time. And then
It's okay. You get bar mitzvah at 13. So
there you go, man. You see, we all got our own things. And then in high school was when things started to click a little bit more for me, because I had to pretty much start my college career and my college, plan, whatever you want to call it, inside of high school. Because the high school that I went to really wasn't for sports, but it was mainly for education. So I graduated my associates, graduated top 5% of my class, and was doing, international business. That was my degree. And I also got a scholarship to the University of Miami, right? So whatever, start my first semester there, and some bullshit ended up happening, and I ended up just transferring over to FIU because they weren't giving me 100% tuition. Got 100% at FIU, took a few courses there while I was a personal trainer, so that's where we're at right now. So already making like, $5,000 or $6,000 a month as a personal trainer, right? Nothing too crazy. First time I'm ever making money in my life. And then
that's
right
solid
out of there,
for whatever, 18 years old.
And then right out of there, that's when I was like, well, now I'm bored because this is not a challenge for me anymore. Like, I knew how to get clients easily. Anyone who was walking through the door, I was doing an assessment and doing it. I'm someone that needs to be challenged.
You were at a gym near FIU?
No, this was Equinox.
Oh, you were I
was going to
FIU.
Virtually. I was going to school virtually.
Virtual.
And then I had a job with Equinox. I was a personal trainer, right? So pretty much what I was doing was working Monday through Friday, and then going to the gym myself, and then Saturday and Sunday I would spend it with my family, but do all my assignments and everything.
Why'd you decide to do the gym? Because like from an outside looking in, I feel like people that work at the gym just like work at the gym because they like to go to the gym.
I genuinely, I really don't know. I mean, I think if
like, it's like an athlete's it's like the athlete's next thing to do is to go work at the gym.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the reason I found myself getting into the gym space was because it was one of the things that I had the most knowledge on already. So I knew, I was like, well, realistically, what can I leverage that I know right now to make myself money? And the only thing I really knew was, number one, I had been getting treatment and athletic training my whole life. So eventually you start picking up on stuff and you're like, okay, I know how to stretch this person out. I mean, I only got stretched out 300 times, so I know how to actually do it. And it was really like secondhand knowledge for me, like right off the jump.
Do you think a lot of people that work at the gym or trainers or like have the same mindset? Like they just played sports or they were into health and fitness, and like then that just is what they evolved into?
Well, I'm going to put it for you like this. Funny enough, I think that anyone that's in the fitness industry requires a certain level of dedication that is not amongst any other industry, which is why there's a very good correlation between sales and fitness. If you find yourself being determined enough to wake up every single day and go to the gym, you can find the ability to be successful in sales.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just a different category. You just got to get it. You got to tap into that yourself.
But then why can't you do what I do? Why can't you wake up and go to the gym and then, well, you do it now too.
Right.
But then you like just go sell something else? Because I mean, what's the most amount of money that you can possibly make working at a gym?
This is a really good question, because I literally did the math at my where I was working at, and when I figured out the top number, I was like, I wouldn't even be satisfied with this right now. So I was
Which was what?
It was like $10,000 a month, right? And the guy who'd been working there for 12 years was making that consistently.
Right.
And then I'm like,
which he might be happy.
He might be happy. That's his goals, right? But for me personally, that's not something that I wanted in my life. So I knew that, like, if the top person who's been here for 12 years and everybody knows him, he's a very nice and respectful, person, I don't want to do that. That's definitely not for me.
Okay, so we went all the way back to when you became a man in middle school. And then we went through college. Now we're at Equinox. Now we're training, and I just wanted to go to the gym because actually I just worked out in my building forever, and then Yuritsa was like, they don't have a Stairmaster here. So I was like, fuck, now I have to spend $500 a month on the gym. So that's when we started dating. and we started going to Equinox. We started training, and I like having a trainer and a coach in everything that I do. Like I didn't care that you were young. Like you're strong and
Yeah.
bigger than me, and knew how to play football. And I just need someone to like spot me, make sure my shit's good,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I was doing the little takeaway throughout the time. You'd always ask me like, what's going on, and then I'd be like, oh, nothing, just like one of our people on our team made like 20 grand, but yeah, what's up with you? And I would like do these little drops on you. What was something that, and I don't want this to be a recruiting video, this is about you,
Right.
but like what for you in your own journey of life, again, not from a recruiting perspective for like making it sound good, but in actuality, why did you actually start thinking about doing something different if you loved working out and being at the gym so much?
Well, I loved it, but I knew like only a few months into it, right? And I think I worked there for like 8 or 9 months, and I knew deep down inside that I was gonna get into something else. So I already knew I was gonna get into something else. And funny enough, I found myself, I don't know if this is something I did subconsciously or, you know, I really don't know, but I found myself asking almost all of my clients what they did for work. Right? So at one point, like, yeah, I was asking you, but I was also asking everybody else. And then it was almost like, well, all of these other people had to go to school for 7 to 6 years, and they don't really make that much money compared to the time that they're putting into it. They're like, yeah, I'm making 300, 400K a year. And I'm like, okay, cool, but how many hours do you work in a day? Like, what's the ratio, right? And when I looked at all of it together, I'm just like, it really doesn't make sense to me. And then the more conversations I had with you, when I would hear things like, you know, agents making 20, 30 grand a month, right? And being able to, you know, own your own time and being able to become this young entrepreneur and learning the good and the lows of, you know, life insurance and owning your own business, because that's really what it is. It intrigued me and I really liked it, you know, and that's when I was like, okay, maybe this is probably for me.
Did you do research before? Because you didn't even reach out to me. You reached out to Yuritsa, like it was like an indirect situation. I just kind of let her take it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, did you do research beforehand? Did you like look me up or like did you look up insurance, or you were just like, I don't know, this dude's young and making a decent amount of money, so?
No, I looked up life insurance. I looked up, you know, what are some like people making money in life insurance, and I learned a few things, and then I was like, damn, so this is legit, you know, because you could have been some type of fucking crazy guy for all I know who's just making money doing something else, but you weren't. I didn't need to research you. I didn't feel the need to do that, but I did feel the need to research whole life insurance.
Yeah.
I'm 19 years old. I have no fucking clue what that shit is. All I know is this one thing, that if somebody dies, their family gets money.
Yeah.
Right? And then later on I learned that it wasn't just that, but...
And you've been here for like 9-ish months now.
Yeah.
September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What surprised you the most here? Like how it actually is versus what you expected? Like you're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go work in insurance. Like, what was something that is different than what you thought it was?
Man, the journey's been crazy because being here, right? I like to think of it that we are a team of business owners. Everyone truly owns their own business, and that's really how it's operated. And there's so many different things that I've learned, right? And I'll just list out a few of them. Like, for example, when we visited one of the carriers, One America, seeing the vision of like, wow, look at all these GAs, look at all these people. Like, you know, the industry has longevity. It's just not for everybody.
Yeah.
Seeing that expanded my mind. That was one of the things that was like, wow, okay, there's a bigger picture to this. You know, like one thing is making 20, 30 grand a month. Another thing is like, I want to be able to go to One America and ask for a GA contract and not get laughed at.
Cool.
Right? And I feel like I am one of the few people who knows that that is not easy. A lot of people don't even know about GA contracts when they sell life insurance, right? But like being able to go over there and put, you know what, on the table and ask for it, I think that's crazy. You know,
cool.
when I heard about that, I'm like, all right, yeah, I gotta step in my game. There's bigger vision to it, right?
Yeah.
So knowing that the vision is bigger than just making money. Number two, I would say, you know, learning about financial literacy, learning about the actual product itself was crazy. And that the more research you do, you realize a lot of high net worth individuals put their money into life insurance. And again, I learned this through becoming a practitioner, but the typical way to save money back in the day was through life insurance.
Yeah.
And something just happened along the way where people were just like, no more life insurance.
Yeah.
You know?
Being 21, where do you want to, have you been here, let's just call it a year.
Right.
What are your 5-year deal, like, okay, you're 25. What's that vision look like? How would you follow that up?
I would definitely say having a team of, 15 to 20 high-level producing agents, working with you. I definitely am the type of person to learn from other people's mistakes, and I think you've done an amazing job. Again, not a lot of people are in the position that you are in, but I think we're learning that, it's better to have 5 people producing at a high level than 100 people selling one policy a month. And I know that you would agree with me on that, right? So I know for me, the more I become a leader, that's something that I'm gonna look for. It's like, I'd rather not recruit anyone and then get one person out of 100 people, but I know that one person is gonna really get the fucking job done.
Yeah.
Right? So number one, having a consistent high net worth, level of, productivity with my agents. And at 5 years, I mean, that would mean that I've been in the insurance game for 4 years at 25, or no, 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. And I would have already been at the production level to ask for a GA contract with carriers myself.
Awesome.
That's a very big goal of mine.
Good.
I want to be able to go to the carriers and ask for a GA contract myself.
Yeah.
And prove that I can produce by myself, and them just be like, okay, here you go. And they're going to trust that the people below me will produce and that I'm going to produce the same way that you did it.
Yeah.
Right? Again, following in those same footsteps. I've explained these things to you, Yeah. But I definitely do think that's a very big goal of mine. And again, if we're truly talking about income-wise, I mean, it's sky's the limit with life insurance, and that.
Are you wearing black Nike socks right now?
I definitely am. Guys, my clothes are getting dry cleaned. Okay, I wasn't.
You can't wash all of them. Sorry, I didn't make you uncomfortable.
I wasn't expecting this.
All right. What else besides working out, besides sales? What else? You're 21. You like other stuff that 21-year-olds do. Like what other type of stuff are you passionate about?
This is actually pretty funny that you're asking me this question. But besides, I mean, I guess working out and spending my time working, I love going to the gun range. I love shooting. And I've also been getting into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I was a wrestler for 4 or 5 years, so I want to be able to mess those people up too. And just 3. But besides that, I would say those are really like my main things, and really just like going to church on Sunday. Yeah.
Why do you think so many of your friends, even my friends, like I'm 29 now, but I mean my friends, as you get older, your friends just keep doing the same shit, and you're like, what the heck? So why do you think that so many of your friends, whether if they're in college and they're still enjoying themselves, like that's one thing, but for the people that are working, or like the people that or even if they're in college, like why do people not get it? And when I say it, I mean like the grind to be successful.
I really wish I knew the answer to that question.
From your perspective.
From my perspective, like, again, I have, I got one best friend. He's, an entrepreneur, runs his own thing through real estate. And I got another best friend who's on the opposite side, right? Like he was kind of in sales, but now he wants to become like a police officer, right? So 2 friends on 2 different types of things. Like one person is going to be a salary job. The other person is going to be, his own salary job, which is sales, right? He's going to dictate his commission. And sometimes like one of the things I never understood is like, if you're in control of your own schedule, like I'd rather love waking up at 6 a.m. on my own time than waking up at 6 a.m. because I need to run on someone else's schedule. So already for me, I have more love waking up earlier if it's for me than it is for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? So the way that I view it is like, if I'm doing all of these things for me, I know that it's going to benefit me. I'm going to fall into more love doing it, which is why you'll run into all these people that we see on social media who, make a good living, fall in love with their routine. Like you're a good example, right? Like sometimes you might not want to wake up at 5 a.m, but there's a part in your body, or 3 a.m. Sorry, I took 2 hours away from him, guys. It's 3 a.m. There's a part in your body that truly does love that process. Like that fire inside of you. Like you told me the other day, you're like, if I see someone at 2:59 with their lights on, I'm putting my alarm for 2:50.
Yeah, like I came
You know what I
straight
mean?
from the airport today. I haven't even showered.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I'm wearing black Nike socks. He probably smells under there. So we all got our own things going on, guys. Okay. But yeah, that's really how it is. Like that truly is how it is. And I think that to answer your question overall, we just need to fall in love with our own process. Because again, something is like some people won't start working until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't understand that. I can't answer for them. I don't. You know, we're all different.
So if you have people that you know or don't know that are 18 to 25 years old that are out there watching this because they want to be inspired or following Grant or Gary Vee or Hermosi or whatever, what would you say to them? Last question.
Yeah, I would say that being at a young age, I used to view it as being at a disadvantage because it's harder to demand respect from other people. But the thing that helped me view it as an advantage and not a disadvantage is my mindset. So understanding that actually developing the way that I view every single situation in my life, which means personal development, is actually one of the most important things being at a very young age. Not to say that people older can't focus on personal development, because again, you're 29, I'm 21, and you still do a lot of personal development every single day. I just think that starting that personal development from a very young age will help us young individuals understand where we want to be in life and what's important to us. Because the more you figure out what's important to you, the easier your life is going to be every single day. From 5 in the morning, all the way up till 9, 10 o'clock at night when you
Agreed.
So
100%. Where can people find you?
people can find me at Instagram, Zarek Marquez with no U, just MERQ, easy, short. And yeah, just search me up. If you want to contact me, DM me, and you will see my stuff on there. And yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yes.